welcome to MMA Fancast. My name is Luke Pace, and welcome back to everyone who is already a subscriber to the YouTube channel. If you're not already a subscriber to the MMA Fancast YouTube channel, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. The power couple in Pittsburgh MMA. It's Justin, the General Patton, and Karli Jo, the Mail Woman. Thomas, welcome back to the show, guys.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
It is always great to have you guys on the show. Really appreciate you guys taking time out. You have two fights coming up this weekend. You're both fighting on CFFC 145, their big event this weekend. So very excited for both of you. Both pro MMA fights, just a lot to cover. I always like to give a shout out to the fact that Coach Karli Jo is the head women's wrestling coach for my alma mater and the wonderful Waynesburg University that just had the students. Today was first day of classes. So best wishes and prayers for all the students at Waynesburg University as they kick off. But today we're only 4 or 5 days away from your guys' fight. So we're going to jump in. Fight week interviews are always super exciting. Thanks so much, guys, for taking time out of your busy week to come on the show.
Oh, of course, no problem.
Thanks for having us.
Well, it's always great to have you on the show. Let's start, Coach Karli Jo. Let's start with the obvious question before we get into this card itself, which we will hear in a second. What's it like doing a full pro camp for your second time while gearing up for women's wrestling? Is the timing working to do this fight now and then kind of turn your attention to the season because the season's not quite started? How has that been working for you as you head into this fight?
Actually, like timing wise, it worked out like pretty much perfectly. I actually started getting kind of busy just being back on campus last week and this week, which was actually kind of worked out nice because training kind of starts to taper down the last 2 weeks of camp. So I've been able to just, kind of juggle both of it, and just stay keep my mind busy, even though I'm not, training as hard every single day, these last couple of weeks. So it's working out good. And then wrestling season will start. We'll start a preseason, beginning of September. So.
Because with the genius intent leads, you nudge.
Think you're muted.
Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Because they
Muted on purpose.
There you go.
There's some voice going on. I think it was an advertisement on either your end or my end. So I was scrambling there.
I heard some like weird thing in the background.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was some advertisement. I'm gonna blame you guys, but I think it was on one of my many open pages because I always have tons of internet pages open, and I don't know which one was. So, but thank you guys for calling out the fact that I was muted. But Coach, I think that's wonderful that you have been super busy. For people that may not know, your last amateur MMA fight was for 247 in February. Then you went right into a camp for your debut, which we covered quite a bit. It was an incredible first round win over a previously undefeated 2-0 pro fighter. So to jump right in May, and now you've done a summer, and now here you are going to be fighting August 30th. So I'm really glad to hear that the timing of everything worked really well. Let's talk about your opponent, Annabelle Kelly. I had just said that you fought Letitia the Mole Rat. I'm sorry. Letitia the Mole Rat Mole, who was, that's the wrong name, but we're close. Letitia Honey Badger Mole. There we go.
Honey Badger.
My brain had to get there. Shout out to Cam, the Mole Rat Allgaier. So many nicknames that bang around. He's a great fighter. But you took on a 2-0 pro for your debut, and now a 3-0 pro in Annabelle Kelly for this upcoming CFFC 145. So you started out 2-0. Now you're a 1-0 fighter going against a 3-0. Let's talk about how this fight came together for Annabelle. You obviously fought for CFFC just a couple months ago. How did this come together, and why say yes to somebody who's, just even a little bit higher up in the food chain of the pro rankings?
They asked me to fight her, and I said okay, and Chris said okay, and Isaac said okay, and that was kind of it. LCA, CFFC talks to LCA really. They don't really talk to me or my coaches directly, but LCA just really just gets like just sends over any opportunity that anybody gives them and is like, ask us what we think. So they sent her over. We said yes, and that was pretty much it.
I know, being the fact that you are really jumping into pro and making a great career, even just at 1-0, already showing your skills, submitting a very talented fighter in her own right, which is incredible. We wish the best to Letitia. She's a wonderful lady. But um, you are also a coach, which we emphasized, and I know you break down your opponent fight. I'm not asking for you to give away any secrets, but how has that been like, studying her 3 pro wins and also her amateur career? How has that been to kind of round out your camp? Do you add things and tweak things based on what you and your coaches see in your opponent?
Just a little bit. Not too much. It's really just like kind of understanding what she does and just like figuring out how to implement like what I do and like more of like just how I fight. Kind of like with what she does. She seems like she's a pretty heavy grappler. Nothing. I mean, she's a talented fighter. She's a tough girl. She's well-rounded. Being nothing I feel like I haven't seen before. Nothing I don't feel like I can't, deal with. So, just excited just to have another fight and test myself against another undefeated person.
Well, that obviously makes a ton of sense. That's your mindset attitude when you go into all of your fights. I've been cage side for all of your 247 fights. Now that you're fighting for CFFC, it's just really great to see your transition, get more opportunities and more attention with everything, which is just really fantastic. Um, with you coming off a first round submission, do you believe in a sense of building on it, or do you think kind of like you're starting fresh in the fight? Or do you think you carry some momentum into this fight?
I try not to like let the previous fight, whether it's a win or a loss, like decipher like how I approach the next fight. All of them are. I kind of think about like every single fight. It's a new opportunity. It's a new thing. What that win after I got my hand raised, that win was done and gone. Like it restarts. So, yeah, I don't really put too much emphasis. I'm working as hard as I did this camp, as last camp, probably even harder. So, you know.
Well, that makes a ton of sense. Do you have a mindset towards a prediction or an outcome you're looking for, or is it for you just what we always talk about on this show? I feel like is to control the controllables, control what you do in the fight, and then focus on you know dealing with whatever outcome comes from what you can do in the fight. Is that your mindset as we're just a few days away?
Yeah, I really try not to like put like a ton of like focus on like exactly like what's gonna happen. I kind of just like plan to find my like flow state and just kind of get into my game and uh once that happens, it kind of just it all plays out from there. So yeah, I'm not really planning anything. I'm just gonna go out there and fight my fight and do what I do and it'll all speak for itself.
And that's a great attitude, both as a fighter, which we're just days away from your second pro MMA fight, but also as a coach. I'm sure that'll go a long way. Second ever year, second season in the existence of Waynesburg's women's wrestling. And I think that goes a long way to developing your athletes. You got a lot of talented athletes, but also kind of helping them deal with the ups and downs of wrestling or any type of combatant career. So really fantastic. I guess the last question is: you have fought for CFFC for you. The general, you're on deck. For you, you've already fought for CFFC. What does that do with like mental prep, being able to visualize the fighting away from home, the 6 hour drive, getting out there? They're on the East Coast, usually Atlantic City, Philly, that type of area. What is it like for you to fight for them for a second time after just a couple months?
The biggest thing that I'm glad I learned the first time I fought for them is the hotel rooms don't have microwaves. So we're gonna be prepared for that this time. That was a really big issue. It's not fun to eat cold, half cooked medium rare steak after weigh-ins when you haven't ate anything good all week. But no, if but it seriously it is it's definitely like kind of it's a good thing just to have gone through it once already. But I'm just excited for the opportunity to fight again, fight for CFFC. Have another tough opponent. Have my team with me. Justin's fighting. It all. It's a good time. We're ready and we're excited. So
Well, that is a great mindset. And even little tweaks, like the fact that you probably could bring in your own microwave. It would be hilarious if you just walk in with a microwave. Like back in the 80s and early 90s, it was cool to carry around boom boxes. You just walk in with your microwave.
yeah,
But seriously, finding out things like that, what the hotel provides, doesn't provide going through it. Last time, of course, you had Justin in your corner for your debut. Now you guys are fighting on the same card. He's fighting a few fights after you. So there's some
Four.
4 fights after.
No,
I'm-
before.
I'm after Justin.
Yeah.
What? This is
Right?
fantastic. See, here I thought
I told you my retirement plan.
Oh, that's true. That is a good retirement plan. All right. Well, since I had just said I had asked Coach all the last questions, I clearly had not. What's it like for you guys? Because, Justin, you were already in MMA a little bit before Karli Jo. So as far as typically you fight later in the cards, now that the attention is more, which is, I think, well-deserved. You're obviously 1-0 for the promotion. Justin, you're going to get there, but for now, your debut for CFFC. So they know Karli Jo obviously a little bit more. But what's that like, the flip in the order, and what's the mental prep? You guys have fought on the same cards before, I know, for 247. What's the mental prep like with that little bit of a change as far as warming up differently and who goes out first and things like that?
I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
I could be first on the card, last on the card. It doesn't.
Yeah. It's just what it is.
Yeah. Little time, 15 minutes to hit pads, warm up. We're good.
Yeah. Can't put too much emphasis on stuff like that because like things could change in like any second. I know I actually I'm not gonna tell the story because I don't know it too well, but I know like when Nick fought for Bellator the first time, there was like some crazy stuff that happened and like nothing went right and stuff. So you just got to be ready for whatever could happen.
And what's
So.
nice about what you guys just shared in answer to that question is you go through your same routine. We talked about controlling the controllable. You hit the pads for the length of time you need. You go through what works for you, warming up and drilling and getting ready for the fight. Obviously, you should be able to do that like you guys are talking about in whatever order. I know, and I don't know. I know Nick Nyquil Brown, but I don't know his story. But I do know of a Bellator fighter that sometimes with Bellator, and I guess it's now gone, but what Bellator used to do is used to have what they call dark fights, where
That's what he was.
Oh, was that what he was on? Yeah,
it was something like that. Yeah.
talk about for it's a weird thing, and Bellator is no longer in existence, I guess. So really doesn't matter. But because of timing of their live fights, they would have a prelim card, and if you were better on the prelim card, which probably would happen to Nick, it happened to a guy I knew, you end up fighting at 1 a.m., 2 a.m. It still counts. It's still a legal fight. It's still very much a pro fight, but it's videotaped, but it's released later because of timing. So like to your point, anything can happen as far as that stuff goes. So always wonderful to hear your viewpoint. Now to switch over to the general, always excited to chat with you. I believe the last time we talked in person, you said you were going to critique my performance last time you saw me on stage. And so here you are. For people that don't know, the lovely MMA power couple came to Five Solas Christian Theater, our debut show back in July. It was wonderfully supportive and encouraging of them. I love you guys both. But you did say you were going to hold your critique for the next time we do an interview. So here we are. And I don't want to be hurt by Karli Jo because I feel like that would hurt me more. So we'll just take it from the general. What is your feedback, sir?
Dude, it was excellent. Honestly, yeah, I loved it.
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Coach, you're so encouraging. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Now what we need to do.
I would have watched it again right after because it was like the story was good, the message was good, and I can't wait for part 2.
Well, I appreciate that. And for the shameless plug that this is, if you want to jump over to 5 with the number 5 Solas, SOLAS, Christian Theater, the full part 1 of the show is up plus the 2 skits. So if you or anybody watching this wants to check it out, we had 2 10-minute skits and then half of the show. We're going to finish up the other half, Lord willing, next summer. But thank you guys very much. Now, hopefully there is a potential for one or two of you guys being on stage at some point. You can never say no. We'll see in the future. But now back to that. Thank you guys both for your support and for your feedback. It was really an honor, and hats off to all the cast and crew. There's a lot that goes on behind the scene. Just like in MMA, it's strange how similar. You got to train a lot. You put a ton of hours in that nobody ever sees. People only see, one night of performance. And that goes for shows or MMA. And we even call MMA an MMA show because it's a similar event structure. So back to you, Justin. This is your CFFC debut. You had a great run with 247. It was my honor to be cage side for a bunch of your fights and to see your rise. How do you think this came about in your career? Like, where are you as far as the excitement of transitioning? 247 is incredible. We love Ryan Middleton and Hunter Homestead, but being able to go outside of the Pittsburgh area and fight for CFFC.
I'm excited. That's the whole reason I got into fighting. Well, obviously I like to fight, but the whole reason I got into fighting is to travel the world and fight people in different places, you know what I mean? So it's cool to go out to Atlantic City. I cornered there a bunch of times, never fought there. So bigger cage, the stadium's sweet. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, and you are going to be fighting a guy with at this point with your record of 8-4. You're always going to be fighting experienced pro fighters because you're an experienced pro fighter. A great run in 247. You're going to be fighting Frank Wells, who's 6-4. So you have 12 fights. He has 10 fights. At that point in a pro career, both of you are established, skilled, winning records. What are your thoughts on Frank Wells and this matchup?
He's a good kickboxer, heavy leg kicks. He's game, so I'm excited for that. I always love that. Someone's willing to stand there and trade. So I'm just excited overall to display my game,
Well, I mean, that makes perfect sense. You have shown, and as has Coach, that well-rounded skill set. I would say, training out of the Mat Factory, which we've covered a lot in depth earlier in other shows. People can go back. I always don't know whether or not Justin the General Patton has been on this show as many times or more than Ethan the Wolverine Goss. You guys are right neck and neck as far as the number of times on the show, which is just a blessing to me. But people can go back and watch. But the Mat Factory is super well-rounded, but they're known for grappling, hence the name, the Mat Factory. But you've also shown a lot of skills on the feet. For you, what's your confident level of being able to trust wherever the fight either goes or you need to take the fight as far as standing, striking, ground, all the in-betweens?
I feel comfortable anywhere, If we're standing and I don't like it, we'll go down. If he's trying to shoot on me, we'll stuff it and stand up. Whatever the fight presents, we'll deal with it,
Well, and that's, I think, what makes your style so exciting is you've always shown that willingness to fight and win wherever the fight goes. And you come with such a great background for that. What are you looking for out of your performance with the debut in a different situation? Although obviously you've had experience cornering in that venue. What are you looking for yourself with this potential to make a big splash for CFFC in your upcoming debut for that?
I just want to show the world how great, you know what I mean? Not just I am, but how great, God is, and like how certain circumstances line you up. Like I took a loss my last fight, but I feel like it lined me up for this, you know what I mean? And you don't know when it's happening. Like you don't know when you're going through the desert what's on the other side, but you keep going through the desert with faith, you know what I mean? And you see oasis at the end,
Yes, and that is a spiritual skill to develop the reality of what the Bible refers to and what we kind of think about as our faith walk, as sanctification, growing in faith, the day in, the day out. It's not always the mountaintops. There's lots of journey that we just don't know what it's going to be like. And sometimes we can get caught up, particularly in a sport like yours. You can get caught up in the what's right in front of you, good or bad. But seeing the bigger picture and allowing God to guide your life is a really beautiful thing. You were on a 4-fight win streak there. So you've won 4 out of your last 5. So even coming off a loss, you're still on a great overall run in your career. And we had asked that before. What do you think was and still can be clicking for your career as far as winning 4 out of your last 5 and having this big opportunity come right off that decision setback?
UFC, PFL, whoever wants to pay me to fight, wherever, Brave, anyone that wants me to fight, wherever. I'll get a passport, I'll travel, I'll fight their killers. You know what I mean? I'll fight the baddest dude they got. It doesn't, it's just another fight. Gotta go get my hand raised,
Well, that's why it's so enjoyable to watch you guys. Both of you are always so incredibly gracious with your time. It's fight week for you. Do you have any official sponsors you want to thank or other people you want to thank as far as supporters, encouragers, the whole thing? We always try to have that attitude of gratitude, both from a Christian perspective for Jesus, but also just in day-to-day life.
Yeah, we have a bunch, honestly. First and foremost, Monarch Hospice.
Yeah.
They've been taking care of us. They're one of our new sponsors. And they take care of us through and through. Like they're making sure we're good with everything. You know what I mean? Allegheny County Customs for me. Go Green Windows, Mogies, Kyle Markle Nutrition.
Nutritionist.
Yeah, our nutritionist. Rocco Yager, our strength conditioning coach.
Yager strength and sports performance.
There we go.
There you go.
That's why there's 2 of us here. So
Matt Factory, of course.
Yeah.
Isaac, Chris Dempsey, Matt Schaefer.
Yeah.
Obviously, Chris Williams.
Yeah.
He's the man behind the mission. My management team, LCA management. They've honestly they're gonna get us to the next level for sure. They got all the right connections, all the right people. They believe in me. They believed in me since I was a 2-0 amateur. They reached out to me to manage me from then, and I didn't even know what it meant, so I didn't even respond to them. And they reached back out to me again, so that's how I know. They actually believe in me and they want to see me succeed. So I really give a lot of credit to them. They're why I'm fighting for CFFC right now. So, yeah.
We have a bunch of other sponsors
Yeah.
that we're probably forgetting.
Tom Kaiser,
yeah, Maya, his what future wife.
Yeah, future wife's business.
Yeah, they take care of us.
They support us a lot. You said Mogi's great.
Yeah.
Go Green.
I think
Selena Joe, with Mojo Custom Tattooing. She does eyebrows and lip tattooing and stuff. She's a great person, obviously. Too.
Speaking of tattoos, Skin Deep Tattoos.
Yeah.
All my tattoos are done by Antonio, the man.
Andrew Paula
for sure. I can't believe it.
So I'm just trying to.
Any media will be put out is Andrew Paula.
Yep.
Everyone in the fight game in Pittsburgh or area or sports in general, he's the man. Like if you want some good stuff done, yeah.
He's busy, so
yeah, get with him.
Yeah.
What about and you might have mentioned it because you've covered a lot. What about the photographer that did your like both of you got professional photos taken, like the black and white?
Dawn.
I
can't remember Dawn's last.
I can't remember her last name. We apologize for that. But Dawn, we actually got connected with her through Monarch Hospice. Rich and Zach from Monarch got us hooked up with her. She's great too. So definitely appreciate her doing that for us.
Well, there's a long list of sponsors.
There's a long list of people that support us. We couldn't do this alone.
It definitely doesn't happen alone. Bobby Murder always says it takes a village. He ain't lying when he says that.
It's a village.
Well,
and if we forgot you, we still love you. Like
we truly appreciate.
There's just a list. Yeah. Everyone that bought our T-shirts, everything.
Yeah.
Our whole team.
It goes to show how much of a fan favorite you guys are, from the sponsors to your actual fans that are going to go, to support you. But like you guys said, I always try to say that when I ask for a sponsor list. If they've forgotten you or missed you in any way, that's certainly not an offense. They're really appreciative. And I always also like to do a shout out for fighters. No matter how many sponsors they have, they can always use more sponsors. And no matter what type of business you had, if you listen back through that wonderful list, you guys, it's everywhere, all over the map. Any type of business, any type of situation can reach out to you guys for a sponsorship. It's surprising what can get attention through sponsorship. So always incredible to have both of you on the show together. We love doing these. Thank you guys for your time, your flexibility. Just a few days away from CFFC 145 in Atlantic City. Super excited that my guest tonight on the MMA Fancast podcast has been Coach Karli Jo, the Mailwoman Thomas, and Justin the General Patton. Thank you guys both very much. God bless you.
Thank you, brother. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
Absolutely,
Love you, dude.
guys. God bless you.